All right, we are live. Let me go live on Instagram. The gram. Yeah, you're going to get in trouble. You can't be banging stuff on my sweet table I got from Marketplace. All right. Jenny, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic, community development, and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show. What's happening, all you millions of listeners, beautiful people out there in podcast land? You're consuming the Grow Clinton podcast. That's right, the greatest podcast on the planet Earth, but I'm biased. I am your host, Andy Sokolovich, president and CEO of Grow Clinton, a small nonprofit based in eastern Iowa, right on the tip along the mighty Mississippi River. We focus on economic development, community development, and tourism. As always, I am joined by the one, the only Jenny Home from the Grow Clinton office. Jenny, what's happening?
I got to tell you something great.
Good. Lay it on me.
All right, I will. Thank you very much to Grow Clinton, to my boss, Andy, for allowing me to go to Atlanta, Georgia, to a membership conference last week. It was wonderful. We had a great time, great ideas. And I got to say, our podcast was the hit. I mean, these are people from all over the country and chamber and economic development corporations that are big, big metropolis cities types things. And I said, we do a podcast for our members, and everybody thought that was great.
Yeah, a lot of organizations do podcasts, but they talk about stuff that's deep.
Yeah, no.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
We want to talk about our members and how great they are.
We want to talk about the awesome things that are happening throughout the Clinton region. You know what else is awesome, Jenny?
I know, Miles Communications.
Oh, I love it. High-speed fiber internet. The Grow Clinton podcast is brought to you by and powered by Miles Communications. Check them out, milestelephone.com. Milestelephone.com for all your high-speed internet needs. If they're not in your area yet, they are on their way. Milestelephone.com. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your conference.
I really did.
We invest a lot in professional development because that's how you improve as an organization. And that was a conference hosted by the American Chamber of Commerce Executives.
Yes.
It is kind of the preliminary conference for all chamber professionals to attend as they continue to work on their own professional development. And you can also get what's called a CCE certification, which is a certified chamber executive. And that's something that I'm working on.
Yep.
So I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did.
You know what I enjoy?
I know what you're going to say.
An ice cold beer.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy some virtual golf simulation out there because I stink at golf, but somehow I play well when it's virtual.
Yeah. And great food and an electric place to be.
Yeah, an electric place. I like how you said that, electric. I need to get a little sound bite for that.
Yeah.
But we are joined in the studio by Conner and Shelly, owners of Legends Draft Haus Restaurant here in Clinton. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, hello, Andy. Hello, Jenny. How are you guys doing?
Good. And if you want to talk about people who are from Clinton and have invested in Clinton, we're talking to them right now.
Yeah, they're doing some great stuff over there at Legends. Always have things going on. Shelly, what are we looking out for this coming spring? I hear there's some patio seating and an expansion of another patio area.
Yeah, so we're in the process of purchasing and putting in some new patio furniture. The patio should be open here as soon as the weather breaks and we have some nice warm days. And
let's talk a little bit about our secret upcoming project.
Ooh, secret. Is it?
Yes.
Are you revealing it here first?
No, well, it's been out a little bit, but we finally...
Nope, you just tell me yes.
Yes.
That's all I want to hear.
You know what, Andy? You are correct. You heard it here first and only here. We're not going to say it ever again.
What do you got for me, sir?
So we have been working on a small project with the city about expanding our patio and doing more outside concerts, more of a venue style. We've noticed that our customers don't want to just sit inside and waste their whole day. They want to be outside, enjoy the weather, meet some new people and some new experiences. So Shelly and I sat down and went over some ideas on a full-service patio with a stage, a balcony, maybe a fire pit if the city allows it. Wink.
Yeah,
there we go.
I'll see what I can do.
Maybe you got some pull there. But we went to a few restaurants. One was in Davenport, it's called, or maybe Bettendorf, it's called Tanglewood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very familiar.
Cool.
Great spot.
Yeah. So we're gonna do something similar to that. We were hoping to be on the agenda for this year, but with Poopy's kind of taking off a little harder and a lot more things to get done before season, I'm running a little behind.
So when you look at the new extended patio and the outdoor live concert stage, is that going to be visible from Lincoln Way?
Correct.
Oh, that's going to be so cool.
The tentative plan is right in the middle of our patio, right in the middle of our parking lot. So if you look out the garage doors, you'll be able to see it from inside. So if the weather's not so nice, you can be inside, watch it. Or if the weather is nice, you can mingle back and forth.
That is going to be so cool.
Now, you alluded to a little place called Poopy's up in Savannah. You guys own that as well, correct?
Correct. We bought that last March, just over a year ago.
How was that process?
It was very interesting. It was a huge learning curve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been fun. Like, we love it. We have no regrets. It's been a challenge. Learned a lot of new things, met a ton of new people. And then a lot of the concepts that they were already doing is what we're going to try and bring to Legends. So more of the outside venue. Have you been up to Poopy's before?
It's been a while. Yeah.
It's been a while.
But
Yeah.
now that you guys own it, I'll be back.
Yeah.
I got a
So when I
tattoo
went
there.
there, she got a tattoo
You
there.
did?
Yeah.
When I went there, it was a little bit of a different scene,
Yes.
I think. So I don't know if it's the same clientele, but it was like a hardcore biker bar, which I have no problems with, but that's what it was. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like a date night back then.
Sure. So it's always been a biker bar, and it'll always be a biker bar.
Cool.
We love supporting motorcycles, anything with wheels, Jeeps,
Yes.
cars, you name it. We're all for it.
It's a great stop.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Shelly and I both ride. We both got a Jeep. We love to support that type of outside action. It's like a mini Six Flags.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So if you haven't been there, there's so much to do. There's a Jeep trail, there's camping, there's a apparel shop that's massive. We're working with some new apparel people here in town to kind of get some fresh ideas and fresh designs.
And you have new apparel for Legends as well.
We do. I'll let Shelly talk more
Okay.
about that because I don't know a ton about it. But we are launching an online store with that.
Yeah. And I'll just say, my grandfather owned a bar for nearly 40 years. This is back in Pennsylvania. And it was a biker bar. And I remember growing up there and just motorcycles
Yeah.
revving, filling the beer cooler, cleaning up the beer bottles the next day, all the grunt work. And then they made a decision to introduce like food and make it more of a restaurant style.
Yeah.
And this is back when, Pennsylvania just passed the law then that you could no longer smoke inside the bar.
Yeah.
So that changed the dynamic incredibly. And then, but when we tried to shift it away from the biker bar scene and create something that it wasn't, business just plummeted.
Oh no.
So I'm glad that you're keeping it the way it was designed to be from the initial inception.
And that's a culture. I mean,
Yeah,
that,
it is a
that
culture.
It
biker
is.
culture, and it's a cool culture. I would love to be able to get in on that, in the long rides and the great stop that you can make because you get a reputation of being the place to go.
That is correct.
Yep.
So you don't need a bike to go up there, but once you're up there and in the atmosphere, you're going to want one the next day.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee
Oh, yeah.
that you're going to be stopping by the Harley shop or stopping by the local motorcycle shop and just checking them out because you get that feeling in your body. Like,
Yeah.
of the motors revving and the people just all in the community, and everybody's so nice. Like, we had heard whole different things of like biker community this, biker this. They really care about each other.
Yeah.
Their main goal is keep each other safe, keep each other riding, and make sure everybody has a fun time.
That's so cool.
That's great. Shelly, tell me some more about Legends swag. Where can I get some of that?
Well, we've been working with AgCraft recently to come up with some new apparel items. Connor and I are both sporting some of our new
Yeah.
AgCraft
Nice.
items, and we're also getting ready to launch our first online web store. We'll be doing that for Legends, and then hopefully shortly after that for Poopies as well.
That's so cool because all you have to do is just go on and you deal with it.
Yep.
I mean, the customer deals with it, they get their stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
So, as owners of two well-known establishments throughout the region, Poopies and Legends Draft House, how much time do you dedicate to being in those places? I mean, that's got to be a tough lift for the two of you.
Well, Shelly's there like every day.
Yes.
So She
We
does
we
way
know
more
who gets the
hours.
work done.
Yeah.
It's not me. That is for sure. Like
Shelly.
the amount of time that she spends in the building, thank God she's salary because
Yeah,
I
oh.
don't think I'd ever be able to afford her.
No, that's great. We love you guys. We just held our Shamrock over on the event side. So let's talk about that while it's on top of my mind. You have this entire side that used to be back in the day that I remember was this pool tables everywhere. You still have a lot of pool tables, but you have a lot of space available to host events and things of that nature. So share a little bit of information regarding what you can accommodate from graduations, birthday parties, bridal showers, all of those fun things.
Yeah, we can do all of the above. We have 3 separate options for rental spaces. We have 2 on the main level, and then we also have a small one upstairs. So depending on how many people you're looking to entertain, we have the room to fit all of your needs.
Yeah,
That's
very
so
cool.
cool.
Shelly's got more of the vision. I'm more of the installer. So like she's the one that's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And I'm like, all right, I'll figure out a way to get it done. Don't worry.
That's so cool. When
Yeah.
you guys first took over, Steve said, I heard that Legends was sold and it's Conner Lee. And I said, I know Conner. And we went out and you were there and you walked us through all your ideas, all Shelly's ideas. And when we left, he said, do you think they'll be able to do it? I said, I don't have any doubt in my mind that Conner Lee and Shelly Lee are going to be able to do this. Not at all. And it has turned out to be such a great place in our town.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been very rewarding seeing
Good.
the progress and all of the support from the community.
Nice.
It just came a long way.
Yes,
I don't
it
know if
has,
you
in a
remember
short
what it
amount of
looked like
time.
beforehand.
I do, yes.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was a great hangout then. But now it's like super busy and you've got so much going on and the great ideas you have for your events and the different like vendor
Fair.
market that you have. Tell us about that.
We have our first indoor vendor fair coming up Sunday, April 13th. And then we're hoping that every month after that, we'll be able to do those outside for the rest of the season.
So
once
are
it
these
warms up.
vendors like people selling stuff they make? Is it all the above? What do we got?
Yeah, typically it's handmade items. We have a lot of other people who are Scentsy dealers or other type of items that they sell.
It's super popular though.
Yeah, so we like to support small business owners, entrepreneurs in our area.
Cool.
I tell you what, that Scentsy stuff's addictive.
It is.
They have a little Scentsy burner for everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
This is something we kind of do to give back to the community. So Legends doesn't make anything off of it. We're just kind of given a space to let small businesses grow. 'Cause
Wow.
So many people can't like afford to go buy a shop on Fifth Avenue
Right.
Right.
or stock their inventory. They're running out of their car, but they have an amazing product. So we finally have a spot to give them that option to showcase
That's
it.
really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like providing a pop-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
just like
that's
that.
exactly.
Yep.
So outdoor music this season, as in this summer,
Kinda.
tentatively.
So Shelly always has some type of patio thing planned. So there'll be a band on the patio or
Okay.
whatnot. I'm running a little behind. We'll see if I can get the stage and everything approved and get built. Otherwise, definitely by next year. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Shelly's more of like the music driven side.
Yeah. My wife's in a band, and they used to play at off a Locust, the Rusty Nail back
Oh,
in the
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's called Gypsy Highway, but
Oh,
that
Gypsy
gentleman
Highway, yeah.
that gentleman built this huge stage in the back with this really cool seating. So if you're ever looking to
Yeah.
do some research, go check that out.
I've
It's,
been there
it's a
several
pretty cool
times.
spot.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
neat
she
place.
played there last summer, and I walked in. I was like, wow, this is much different than when it was the Nail.
Well, I'm just so excited. The visual that's, I know I've already mentioned it, but the visual from Lincoln Way, that is going to be so cool. I mean, you can already go by and see when people come to town, visitors come in and they look off to the left and see Legends there with all the cars and all the people there. That is such an inviting thing for our community. And now there's going to be a stage there and music, and that's just going to make such a great impression.
I agree.
Yeah.
People want something to do. They don't want to just sit inside.
True. And
Now, what do you have to do? Do you have to like cordon that off then? Like gate it?
Yeah, there's a bunch of restrictions from the city we're working through. They've been really good to us. Glenn has actually been really good to us overall.
Yeah, very good. Glad to hear that.
Nice.
Yeah, we want to be a business-friendly community, and every business has its new chapters. I
I recall seeing, I mean, I've only been here since 2013, but there's been a lot of changes
Yeah.
to local ownership, especially in like the bar restaurant scene. And you're seeing people of a younger generation bring their new ideas.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's cool to see people implement new ideas and make things happen. And I'm so excited that we have these venues in our community so we can continue to support them, not only as a staff, but as an entire community, because we want to see you succeed. And you've done nothing but ever since you opened Legends, and now you have Poopies under your belt. I don't know if that sounds weird.
Everybody
You got
knows.
Poopy under your
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
So I had this funny story. Poopies, before you owned it, it was crazy. I worked for a very small company, and we did some, I can't even remember what it was called. It's like water transfer. You can just dip something in water, and you put this film on top of it, and there's some kind of name to it. But anyways, they dipped a toilet seat with like skulls on it, and they put it in Poopies, and somebody stole it.
Oh no.
So the local news said somebody steals toilet seat from Poopies, and just the headline alone, and it was more creative than that, spread all over the place. It
Caught
made national
fire.
news. It was
Yeah.
on like CNN just because of the connection of a toilet seat and the name Poopies.
See, and that makes it a landmark. It makes it high visibility. That's why they do it. That's why they did the name. It's so cool.
We've got a lot of apparel to say. If we have to explain it, you won't understand.
That's right.
And it is such a thing.
What is where's the origin story behind Poopies?
It's a pretty lengthy story.
Okay.
It is on our website.
Okay.
If you visit poopies.com, on the contact us page, there's a little link, and it'll say a little article about how Kevin and Peggy started it,
Yeah.
and how it grew and became this thing it is now. And then I can't wait to showcase our vision and how the next level we take it to.
Yeah.
Okay, so Legends has a website then as well.
We do.
Yeah, legendsdrafthaus.com.
Okay.
And that's house, Haus,
Yes.
house.
That's a German
House. Like house music.
House. You got to say it with that accent too.
No, I was stationed with the German Air Force when I was at Holloman Air Force Base, and they were crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So their facial hair restrictions were whatever they could grow while they were on leave. They did not have to shave when they come back.
Oh wow.
So you see them all. I mean, we couldn't have, as the U.S. military, no facial hair
Yeah.
other than a weird mustache that couldn't go past the corners of your mouth, type of thing. But I just remember them always going, "You want to come to a house party?
House.
You want to listen to house music?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "What is this?"
You have to
These
say
like
it like that.
6'7" giant German pilots just
Yeah.
playing this bass beat in a small apartment in downtown New Mexico in Alamogordo. It was crazy. But every
That's a
time,
great visual though.
oh, it was so much fun. And then they had a German commissary, a grocery store on base. So we could not use it, but we would give the Germans some money so they would go in and buy all sorts of little things. And they had this liqueur. I don't know exactly what it was. It was clear, but when you poured it, it activated under black light. Like you would mix it up and it would sparkle under a black light.
Look at that.
It was pretty insane.
You guys.
It was
We had carried at Poopies. It's starts with a
Hypnotic?
V.
Oh.
No, it's like VI. There's
Yeah.
red ones and there's purple ones.
Oh my goodness. We
Yeah,
got
it was cool.
Yeah.
yeah. Come up there, I'll get you a shot.
And then they
All
had
right.
this. They had this stuff called Apfelkorn. It was an apple liqueur, but it did not taste like there was any booze in it whatsoever.
That's dangerous.
and
Very
you would
dangerous.
drink
Yes.
that. And I remember going to a toga party on base, and waking up in a bush, having no idea how I got there.
Been
Luckily,
there.
I was wearing a toga, and but it was insane. So yeah, I love party with the
Well,
Germans
and
back then.
speaking of that, all the different stuff, Legends has that. I mean, you go in there, you see
Oh,
the
yeah.
tappers. It's
How many
crazy.
beers do you have on tap?
We have 31 beers on tap.
Wow.
31. And how many of those are like from around the region, like Iowa, Illinois?
I'd say about half of them are local.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I'm waiting for
Wow.
Yingling is my favorite lager, but we can't get it in Iowa yet.
We carried at Poopies.
Yeah, because you're in
Yeah.
Illinois.
Yep,
Yeah.
Why
Very-
not? Why can't I don't know anything about that. Why can't you get it in Iowa?
So
It's a
it's
distribution
regulated
thing.
by the distributor. We can't buy any type of beer that's not distributed by a distributor.
Okay.
So like I can't just go to Yingling factory and then bring it back,
Right.
Because it'd fall under some bootleg rule.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
glamorous though.
Yeah, then it's jail time.
Yeah. No, that's not glamorous.
Well, New Glarus only distributes within Wisconsin.
And that's why Shelly's in charge, because then if jail time comes up, like, oh, Shelly made a bad call there.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I don't even know who she is.
Although I am ready for vacation.
Oh, hey, 3 squares and some volleyball. Why not?
Is there anything else you want to share with our listeners before we close out this show?
Well, we've got a pretty good program that we just kind of rolled out. It's called the Bermuda Triangle.
I saw the billboard.
I love the
Yeah.
Bermuda
On
Triangle.
Bluff Boulevard.
Yep. So
Great
it
idea.
encompasses all 3 locations: Poopy's, Hook's Pub, and Legends Draft House. And it's a reward system. So every time you go to a location, you give them your phone number, similar to like the big box, like Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
And then as you accrue points, you can use them on your purchases, kind of like free money.
Yeah.
The one kicker on it is if you go to all 3 locations in the same day, you get triple the amount of points. So let's just say you made 100 points, but you made it to all 3 locations. You now get 300 points to spend towards merchandise.
That's like a party.
Challenge
Beers,
accepted.
food.
Let's do it.
So yeah, you hit that little triangle and you're set.
So
you-
it's the Bermuda Triangle,
Right.
Bermuda Triangle.
Legends Draft House,
Hooks Pub,
Poopies, and Hooks.
Hooks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Very
I
cool.
can see a new lifestyle for us.
Yeah. I don't know how if it's sustainable. I mean, my liver will
I'll
eventually
try
give
it.
out.
We
I'll
have
give it a
bunch
shot.
of non-alcoholic options as well.
Yeah. There you
Oh,
go.
hey.
That,
There
that
you
was
go.
honestly one of the things we focused on when taking over is riders like to go from place to place. They don't want to just sit in a location. They want
Right.
They want to ride. They want to be on their bikes, but we want them safe. We don't want anybody crashing their bike because we overserved them or because they thought they had to have an alcoholic beverage.
See, I love the way you two think.
Yeah.
So we brought
That's
in.
great.
This year we're launching energy drinks, so similar to like Brent's Coffee, stuff
Yeah.
like that. We've got a ton of non-alcoholic beers. Shelly brought in a non-alcoholic wine, which was pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Ooh.
And then we've got slushies and some other stuff like that.
Do
Yeah.
you have Spanish rice on your menu?
I don't know if we do.
Spanish
I
rice.
taught Connor how to
You
make
did teach. I
Spanish
still
rice.
make it that exact same way.
I
Do
was
you
like, that's an
really?
odd request.
And anytime I make it for someone, they're like, "Wow, this is so good," and I'm like, "Yep, came up with it on my own."
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
What?
Just kidding.
Oh,
I'll-
what?
I'll
I don't know
start
if I want
plugging
to.
you when I bring it up.
Okay, thank you.
funny.
Jenny's rice.
Well, Shelly, Connor, you've done an amazing job, and we, on behalf of Grow Clinton,
Oh,
want
yeah.
to thank you for your continued investment in our organization, but more importantly, your continued investment in the Clinton community. It does not go without a tremendous amount of praise and respect for what you've been able to accomplish.
Absolutely. And to be giving back to our community the way you do and the thoughtfulness that goes into it and the hard work
Yeah.
that you do to make sure that it's successful. Thank you.
There's a lot of behind the scenes. People maybe lose track of that if you're not there. That there's so much that goes on. There's times where Shelly will text me at 2 a.m. and just a reminder about something, and I'll be up working as well. I'm
Oh
like,
my
hey,
gosh.
what are you still doing awake working?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And a huge shout out to all of our staff. We have amazing staff.
You
we-
do.
And we could not do that
We
without,
do.
without them.
We've got 2 really good managers at Legends, Heather and Darla, like above and beyond. We couldn't do it without
Yeah,
them.
and Jenna is
Oh,
in
and
our
Jenna in
ki-
the kitchen.
In our kitchen
Yep, I
as
almost
well.
forgot.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those years growing up behind the scenes of the bar business and watching my grandfather and my grandmother age and have to deal with it all.
Oh, boy.
You know, food service and booze. It's one of it can be the best thing because people always want it. It's high in demand,
right,
but it can be very hard to manage. And the key, like you just alluded to, is finding the right people
right.
to help you manage a business because you can't be there 24/7. So they got to be trustworthy, intelligent, forward thinking, futuristic, and great communicators.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just said 2 words that are 3 words. I don't
But
know.
a bunch of stuff.
A bunch of stuff
Yeah.
that really applies to Connor and Shelly, forward thinking and
Yeah.
futuristic. That's amazing. When you showed me you two were installing those garage doors, I'm like, I haven't seen this anywhere but like big cities. And
Yeah.
that was so cool.
Yeah, very cool. All right, everybody. Well, that's been another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast. Remember, you can check us out on all your socials. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, and you can check out growclinton.com. Hit the drop down, select podcast, and you can listen there. All the major spots to communicate our members' desires and plans for the future. That's what we do here at Grow Clinton, is help businesses grow. Jenny, you got big plans for the rest of the week?
Yes, I want to visit a lot of different people. In fact, when I get done here, I'm going to take off and visit somebody. And I told you that's my favorite part of this job.
Yeah. We appreciate you. I'm going to cruise on over to the United Way annual meeting.
Yes.
Again, I want to thank our sponsor, Miles Communications, for supporting us with high-speed fiber internet. Until next time, everybody, stay awesome.
Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya.
All right, let me stop this. Okay, say bye. Bye. We're leaving. Watch the recording. Thanks for hanging out.